This is TWiT.
Android 12 beta users are now starting to get access to a new assistant feature called Quick Phrases. You can look for it in the assistant settings, and it currently supports alarms and timers and incoming calls. And when activated on those instances, you won't need to say the wake word, hey G, before following with stop or snooze or answer or decline. You can just say the word and Google will know what you want.
Stop.
Which is, I feel like is going to be, potential for disaster, but we'll see how it goes. And there are plans to allow you to skip Hey G for a longer list of commands on the Google Home speakers. And some include, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole list here. Some of my favorites are send a broadcast. You can also turn the lights on or turn the lights off, which I do often.
Nice one.
Turn up the volume, turn down the volume. Basically, it's that conversational thing where Google is assuming it knows the context. Skip this song to skip a music track. But there's also reset the timer or how much time is left, because it knows that you're using the device in this way, and so it's anticipating that when you say those words, you're talking to it. God knows what's going to happen when you have music playing on your device and your partner says, turn the volume down, and you go and you want to say, no, I want it louder, but Google's going to listen to your partner and turn it down. How does it know when it's being talked to? That's my question.
Yeah.
Hey, is it getting dark? Should we turn the lights on? I turned all the lights. Well, no, I didn't ask you to turn the lights on. We were
it was a question.
Be interesting.
Google.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So
it wasn't a command. My Google Home speakers already do the not needing Hey G for things like turning off timers and stuff. So this seems to be an expansion of that. I've been using that for, I don't know, more than a year at least. Yep. Have you noticed that? I don't know if you have a Google Home device in your house, Chiu-Ki, but I mean, on our devices, if I set a timer in the kitchen and it starts beeping at me with the Google Home, I just say stop. I don't say, hey G, stop. I just say stop and it stops. And I don't know when they rolled that out. So this seems to be kind of an extension of that. Do you have any of these devices in your home?
I'm muting because it's raining really hard outside, and there was thunder. That went through. So I'm like,
I'm so jealous. I wish it was raining here.
On your show. It's interesting. The Google Home that I have, which I got through different events, I didn't buy it. I don't really use it. And I only use it when I'm cooking and I want to listen to a podcast at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't interact with it that much. And it's sometimes it's frustrating because when I'm cooking and I want to listen to some music, and then I will ask it to get to the next song or things like that. I don't know. Maybe I don't use it enough. It's always quite confusing when I listen to a podcast and I want the latest episode. It never knows that I want the latest episode, and it always brings up that episode I listened to 3 months ago, and it's this is where you left off. I'm like, well, it's the NPL Politics podcast. I don't want to listen to the one from 3 months ago. Can you just clear it out? Can I just expire my podcast?
Or play the latest episode or something. Yeah.
But I do have to remember to say that. And if I forget and I kind of do a chaser and say play the latest episode, I'm never sure whether it actually know the context of it's the latest episode of whatever podcast that you're currently playing me. So maybe I should try that and see. Maybe it has developed more context as things go through. Because I remember when sort of a long time ago, but I for some reason want to know how to say cheese in German. So I asked Google, and then they told me it's case, and I asked Google how do you spell that, and then Google said THAT. I'm like, very funny, Google, very funny. But yeah, so hopefully by now it has learned more context.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it has. I mean, if that was a couple of years ago, that's been some of Google's announcements around Assistant and on the home devices for the last couple of years, is that they're really honing it in so that it understands the context to know that when you say, how do you spell that, you're actually referring to the word you just asked for initially, not the word that. So I guarantee you
that particular interaction again, just to see.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if it figured it out. I would guess that it probably would. I've noticed a definite improvement as far as that stuff is concerned. But still, at the end of the day, it comes down to syntax, and sometimes the syntax isn't right. Sometimes the syntax, you get it right, and it still just comes back with something that's totally baffling, like that thing you posted to our WhatsApp not too long ago, Ron, where you're specifically asking for this song from this album.
Can we show it? I feel, I don't know. I want to be so hang on, Burke. Let me give you the link. I posted it to Twitter. You can see it on there and we can run the video. I don't know if you can play audio or not, Burke, but yeah, I threw it into the doc. So basically everybody knows my problem with Google, with the Nest Home Hub and YouTube Music lately. And I ran into a situation that just had me cracking up, which was my kids. And I don't know if you want to play the video, Burke, and play the audio. I don't know if we can for everybody to hear it, but yeah.
Yeah. Apologies on the Hey G that'll come through.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. But yeah.
No, it's fine.
All right. Play the song Skidamarink by Andy and Susanna.
Tonight by Andy Williams. Sure. Playing on YouTube Music.
What? It gets better. Play the song Skidamarink by Andy and Susanna on YouTube Music.
What's Up by Four Non-Blondes. Sure. Playing on YouTube Music.
Oh, that is so frustrating.
So I was literally by Andy and So I was literally, as you can hear me, I was literally asking to play a kid's song called Skidamarink by a musician group called Andy and Susanna that I know is on YouTube Music because I'm subscribed to them on YouTube Music, and I play the album for my kids all the time. And I sat there for a half an hour asking it over and over again, and it either gave me Andy Williams songs or random 80s and 90s songs that had none of the words that were asked for it. And I went back and forth with Google, the Made by Google Twitter account on this. And I was like, no, you're not, because they linked me to the previous time I complained about YouTube Music on Google, and well, you need to do all that stuff. I'm like, no, something's broken here. And other people on Twitter were saying they were seeing similar things where it clearly, I'm speaking clearly, and it is coming up with something completely different. And I never got an answer why, and it's still happening. So,
and what's weird is when you watch that video, you see it spells out, how when you use your voice command, it spells out.
It heard what I said. It
heard exactly what you said.
Yes.
So it's not even like it misheard you. It heard, it translated it, and then it's almost like those visual they're like designs that can throw off facial recognition systems. It's just like the pixels in just the right place to make it, even though it looks like fuzz to us, it comes up with Lionel Richie or something. It's kind of like that, but for Google Home devices, it's so weird. I don't understand.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
In a way, it makes me feel slightly better that it's not that I'm talking wrong to Google, right?
Right.
It's that they have their own idea of what people mean.
Yeah, or there's something going on there. I've totally experienced that too, where I'm like, that's not at all what I asked for, and why? There's no way for me to say this any clearer than I am. Yep. I guarantee you, it's interpreting it correctly. Right. It's just firing off the wrong command as a result.
Yeah, and it seems like something's wrong. Seems like something's wrong, and here's the problem with support is they don't listen. They have a script where they're like, "Oh, are you sure do you have a subscription to YouTube Music? Are you sure you're using the right account?" It's like, I don't know how to be like, "Yeah, I'm in the know." I don't want to be like, "Do you know who I am?" But do you know who I am? And it's just
oh boy, that's so frustrating. Totally.
Yeah, it is. So I'm convinced. I am adamant about getting it solved. I will go all the way up to Hiroshi or Sundar if I need to. I want to get this because I know that there's a problem. But so whatever, we'll find it someday.
Yeah.